The Abuja, Kaduna train derailment has once again torn through the fragile fabric of our collective peace. Families who had sent their loved ones off with smiles and prayers are now faced with screams, phone calls filled with panic, and the deafening silence of unanswered lines. In an instant, what was meant to be a safe journey turned into a nightmare of twisted metal, overturned coaches, and shattered lives. Picture the fear in the eyes of mothers clutching their children, the cries of the injured echoing in the hot midday air, and the helplessness of fathers unable to shield their families from the chaos. Survivors describe the ground shaking violently, people tumbling over one another, and glass shattering into the faces of passengers who only moments earlier were sharing jokes, meals, and quiet thoughts about their destination. Among the voices now muted forever is that of at least one precious soul who never made it back home. Somewhere tonight, a family is staring at an empty chair at the dining table. A mother's wails will pierce the night, a father's shoulders will slump under unbearable grief, and children will look to the door, hoping for footsteps that will never again be heard. How much more agony must we endure as a nation before safety becomes a priority, not an afterthought? To those injured, the journey of healing has just begun. Their scars, both seen and unseen, will serve as constant reminders of the terror they lived through. Some may never walk again without pain. Others may never board a train without trembling. Trauma lingers longer than headlines, and it is the survivors who will carry its weight long after the world moves on. We cannot afford to treat this tragedy as just another news item. These are real people, our brothers, sisters, parents, and children. Their blood now stains the tracks that were supposed to be a symbol of progress and modernity. Instead, those tracks have become a corridor of sorrow. Each derailment chips away at our collective faith, raising haunting questions about who will be next. Yet, as we grieve, we must also rage. Rage at the negligence that repeats itself. Rage at the complacency of those who promise change but deliver nothing. Rage at a system that seems to learn nothing from past tragedies. Our sorrow should not paralyze us. It must fuel our demand for accountability. If we stay silent, if we shrug and move on, then we have abandoned the victims twice. Once to the crash and once to indifference. This tragedy is not just about broken steel and derailed coaches. It is about broken trust. It is about citizens who believe in the promise of public infrastructure only to be betrayed time and again. We deserve trains that run safely. We deserve leadership that values life more than political expediency. We deserve to arrive home alive. So, let us mourn together, but let us also unite in demanding answers. Every citizen has a role to play in ensuring that this story is not buried with the dead. Share the stories, amplify the cries of the victims, and hold leaders accountable with your voice, your platform, and your persistence. The cost of silence is far too great. As you read this, remember, behind every statistic is a human face. Behind every headline is a grieving family. Behind every tragedy is a nation still waiting for safety. Do not look away. Look closer, feel deeper, and speak louder. If this touched your heart, don't let the sorrow end here. Like, comment, and share this story so the pain of the victims is not forgotten. Subscribe to our updates and follow us on Facebook to join the call for justice, safety, and accountability. Together, our voices can echo louder than tragedy. Together, we can turn agony into action.